allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, everybody will take a minute. Look at the minutes. Kind of long.
Yeah. It is okay.
I'm gonna get technical, I'm not Mr. Burke.
Good, ready to change.
Husband's not here, he was just here last month.
I'm going to get this as corrected.
Well, I got one more correction.
Okay.
Bill, we talked about, full proposal for the people that Ernie brought. Says I suggested letting the commissioners make this suggestion. And they need to make that decision. Just to clarify that.
Get the changes. One, Mrs. Burkhardt instead of Mr. and Mr. Newton didn't suggest, he said that the commissioners need to make. Okay, everybody get those? I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Trey makes a motion. Bill seconds. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Okay, we're gonna skip down to Dottie. She needs to be first.
Yeah, I got work to do.
Yes, ma'am. Right
Okay,
ahead.
every year I have to bring in a sworn statement and I emailed it to everybody plus this ordinance. This is to pay any part-time help out of my perpetuation fund. So if they are doing any kind of customer service, that's where the ordinance has to be, signed by you that it's okay that I can pay them out of perpetuation. I have plenty of money in there to take care of the project I'm doing and still pay my employee or employees, because I may need another part-time person, but we've got plenty of money to get this project going and done.
So also, so they can work the counter.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what it amounts to. If they answer the phone, State Board of Accounts calls and says, they happen to answer the phone and I don't have this ordinance in place. That's the problem. So you guys have always signed it before. I just need your signature on the ordinance.
Everybody get that?
And I emailed the ordinance to you and that sworn statement, so you should have had a chance to look it over. You sign it every year.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Kenny makes a motion to approve. Ashley seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you. I'm out.
Okay. Teresa and Zach.
If you recall, back in April, Zach accompanied me to the meeting and gave you some information regarding a possibility of adding a parking lot to their trail extension project that was already, that they had applied for grant funding. And all they needed from you at that time was just approval to include it as an alternate possibility in their project, and no financial obligation was needed at that time. And he also told you he would come back in November, follow up with the actual bid amounts for you to consider. We did this yesterday to the commissioners. No decision was made at that point. They did ask him to come up with some additional pricing for more parking spaces, but I'm going to turn it over to Zach and let him talk to you about all the information that I sent you in an email you got to review before.
Morning, council. So we did receive our bids last week for the trail and the alternate for the parking lot. But you see in the plans, the parking lot is currently at 37 parking spaces. You know, in April, we talked about 77 parking spaces based on $300,000 budget. Reason it's smaller in the plans is when they started putting the cost estimates together, they were coming at $350,000 for what the parking lot show has now. And rather than blow it up and get too high a bid, but we're not interested in putting in a smaller parking lot with the potential to expand it either as part of the project or in the future. So, just to clarify why there's less parking than we originally talked about in April, that's why bids for the parking lot alone came in. O'Mara was the lowest bid at $195,000. And total with the trail and the parking lot, O'Mara was still the lowest. So that's good news for you all.
We did talk 90 parking spots, right?
77 was a preliminary, you're on second.
There were 3 options with different amounts. So
Yeah, I was thinking.
one of them was the one you agreed at that time.
If we have a handout on what it looks like.
I believe there's one sent to you.
No.
I sent an email out.
Yeah,
Email.
we got it.
So the commissioner did ask the same question of what can we get parking wise? And we went back and looked at the plans that were created, the quantities based on O'Mara's bid prices. You can put in another 43 spots for about $150,000.
How many?
43.
So looking at this, what we got on the email, why do we have so many trees and vegetation and all that and not parking spots?
The parking lot is designed per city ordinance, which requires curb bump outs, curbs, vegetation, and all that.
What's the requirement on the vegetation?
Off the top of my head specifically, I don't know, but yes, I haven't stated it for me. Just
I mean, we're putting 16 trees in around that parking lot that just gonna, first of all, you're spending tax dollars to put all those in there, and then you're spending tax dollars, Parks Department to maintain it, plus the workers' gonna cost the same, plus the mulch, plus all the tree roots there in that parking. Don't really understand why we're doing that.
Didn't we discuss, is this gonna be paved?
it's fake.
Didn't we discuss putting gravel down first and then in the future paving it?
Again,
Just thinking,
city ordinances.
it has to be paved, yeah.
And as discussed with the commissioners yesterday, if this county so chooses, that you go to the city BZA, ask for variances on any of the requirements in the ordinance.
On you, okay, any trees close to.
Well, we
Parking
went,
lot's gonna tear it up in
we went
5-10
from,
years down the road.
requesting 70, and I thought we went to the 80 or 90, what we were requesting down to 35, then we got a major amount of landscaping and trees and all kinds of other stuff that costs money to start with, plus it's gonna get turned over to the Parks Department, now they gotta take care of all of them. I don't understand why we're doing it. I would like to see what the ordinance says as far as if there's a minimum on that or what the requirements are.
And
Then
the
we
city's
can get
website,
that order to Christie so she can email it out to us.
available on the city's website.
I've been on the city's website and it's not really that easy to find that stuff, but if you could get it over to her, or she can send it out to us. I'd like to look. So I don't know that 35 parking spots is gonna make that big of a difference. I mean, we really need as many parking places there as we can get.
So the direction with the commissioners right now is they ask for that additional parking for the price. You're still pricing that over meeting. And then if they're just saying the meeting, come back, I have to get a written commitment at that time. Or we can award the project based on whether the county's interested in building a parking lot.
What, review again, what this walk path, it starts at the library. Where's the walk path start? Go to-
Well, it ties into the current walking path there around the bathrooms and pickleball courts, and then it goes out to Main Street or 46. There's a offshoot that goes towards Pirate Park and option, it goes for the library. And when NDOT builds 46 out a couple of years, they get into that all the way down to Lincoln.
They have the grant funding to do their trail extension portion, but it did not cover the cost of the parking lot. They just added that and with the option that it would also say, if you elect to do it now, you would elect to do it now, and save the county the engineering, the planning,
Yeah, I mean, all
and
the
you were
plans,
willing to oversee the
city
project.
take over the inspection and all the construction and all that. So it's beneficial to do it with the trail project. You all agree to the 43 parking or 37 parking spots. We can work out the details after that, get another contract and can move forward. If the county chooses not to participate, it does change a little bit. So would shift the bid to a different contractor.
But if we don't do the parking lot, you're still gonna get
Our project, yes.
I'm not in favor of going down to 30 parking spots when we want to 70 or 80 and putting all that vegetation. I think there'd be some kind of compromise on that. First of all, I don't want to spend the money for that because it's tax dollars we're spending, and then I don't want to have to take care of it for infinity. I mean, it's just another burden we put on the Parks Department every time we do these projects. And we got to quit doing it. Unnecessary. When you're putting a parking lot in a city park that's already got trees and vegetation and grass and everything else. I don't know why we have to throw 16 more trees up out there, mulch and everything else. It's going to have to require a lot of maintenance. Okay. So, and obviously there could be some kind of compromise on that. The current project, I can't agree to that. That's my opinion.
What's mobilization and demobilization?
It's just a standard. Hey,
I doubt dollars to show up.
lost money, truck equipment in, truck equipment. Equipment there.
So the county picks up the full parking lot.
And is taking responsibility for the cost of the parking lot. Goes under our own
Okay,
budget.
I can see paying for the blacktop, but I can't see all that landscape around it. It's already trees like you.
I don't understand the curbing. I think like 40-some thousand on this curbing there. There's curbing, I'm like,
Okay. Everything else.
Like I said, I'll come back to the commissioners in December. We'll come with a agreement of some sort for where we'll either commit to the parking as it's designed, as it's quoted, to be changed later if you're interested, or don't commit whatsoever to their own project.
what was the commissioner's opinion, Mark?
Same as Kenny's.
Is the requirement of the trees design standards manual that's 135 pages? Just scrolling and trying to find it.
Well, if you're in the design standards, it's not the element that has requirements. That
Doesn't have to be trees, does it?
I don't know if that was actually written, but it just requires some portion of landscape to break the parking lot and kind of get that safety buffer of what those bump outs are all for.
Because it feels like we're taking up space that could be parking.
Parking.
That's to me, that's just my,
So if we don't, the parking lot proposal gets turned down, put the walking path in, can the county come in there and build their own parking lot?
For the UDO, you would submit plans to the city for approval to construct plan.
And that's because it's in the city, even though it's county property, it's still in the city. Got you.
Kenny, when you talk about in terms of care for the park department, we do a lot of landscaping and things of this nature. Are you talking about like tree maintenance years down?
Tree maintenance, and you've got mulch, you're gonna have to replace every year, you've got shrubs. It's more work for you.
Right.
guys. Got hayes every year, you're gonna have to do something well.
This one's 188 pages. That might take you.
I'd be happy to send that all over to all of you, the ordinance, when he gets it to me,
Yeah, I mean, I
to
like,
make it easier for you to, not looking through 180 something.
I don't see improvements out there. I don't see a parking.
now, I don't mind, I want to look, but I don't think we're gonna go 16 big trees. All the other stuff, I don't think that's necessary. Well, we're losing a ton of parking space. And that's the whole purpose of having a parking lot there, so we got places to park.
And he did explain yesterday too, as far as the design about the curbs not being on the end to allow for overflow grass parking for the major events out there. So that was part of that plan reduction. So it's not like we have asphalt parking all the time. There would still be green space that could be used for park use, but it would still be able to be grass parking. And I'm just throwing that out there because that was an option on that design.
Yeah. Our thought, developers thought of 350 days in a year, you don't need 77 parking spots, but 10 times or whatever out there. That's why they left the curb out of the back of the parking lot where you provide the grass space for parking. But
Well, you also gotta think about
the park setting, the park setting.
what's there right now, that like, hey, there's so much going on in that park right now, so who knows what we'll be 10 years from now, we might need 90 parking spaces.
That's again why we left that curb out. It's designed right now where we had it on.
Yeah.
Well, I know I drove by there a lot myself. It's,
It's put a couple of shelter houses up there, it'll be.
You got
really
people
good. I just.
walking across Northeast 80.
Yeah.
A lot of the parking lots.
This and like put all that other stuff in there. It's unnecessary.
Zach, is it possible for this county to come to the city and ask for variance on some of those design requirements? I mean, I wonder if that would be.
Again, we'll have to get on, the city has to get under contract. Project, so variances couldn't go before the board until January. That's not the agenda.
so this is really commissioner's call.
Yeah.
In the end. Well, else have any questions, concerns?
Ask that question. So just to clarify, if they were under contract prior to that, you could still go back to zoning and ask for changes to the current bill. And maybe eliminate curbs, trees, etc.
The zoning board approved the variances, we can go back to the design and change it. Whatever you want, it's your project. I don't want you guys to think it's not your parking lot. It's the city just acting on behalf of you. So
Where's this money coming? We gotta know where we gotta be.
that's why we did go with full blown parking, a smaller option first, possible expansion later.
Zach, would it be possible to actually have the construction design stuff for an expanded parking lot? So when it was ready, we would already have that engineering foot.
They have preliminary designs. They did the survey all the way out for the full parking lot. One option. But there's not a lot of design. Once you build it once, it's pretty metal. Get that. Besides, right already, like I said, we did the survey to get all the grades right. Fairly hard.
What kind of timeline are you on for construction?
Project completion December 20th. So I forgot. We don't have a contract yet, so schedule. It does help that for basically a whole year of construction. Just what this is so long. Let's fill it. But it's a great winter. I think I know. It's not. It's that flexibility of helping you stay lower.
I know Tracy's looking at doing that bathroom project out there too, so maybe get that done first.
Sure, you already have it.
Okay. Any other questions, concerns? Thanks, sir. Okay, enterprise guys running late. Grant proposal, thought out. You're at,
I'm a- There's a new,
Debbie Harry.
there's a new process that came in by state board of accounts for any federal aid jobs. And I took this to commissioners the other day, got Mark to sign it, Jan to sign it. But this is, like I said, there's new paperwork that has to follow the grant, okay? Stays here at the courthouse. The Gab is the keeper of the grant proposal. We got awarded, I mean, some of these I didn't need to do one, but I just wanted to do them for practice. 2024-2 community crossing grant, we got awarded that. I'm going after for the no call, bridge replacement 106, which is on 820 south going out of Millhausen. Stone Arch Bridge out there is what I'm, Bridge 141 was the bridge we got for last year. But I need a signature from the president and from Janet, these, so we can keep these on file. This is the community.
Need a vote on it.
This was the second portion. Most of what we got with the, it's $375,000 change.
This one you just got was?
Now, the first one was, got awarded for the whole grant, $1,499,000. Because they raised it from $1 million to $1.5 million. So the very first portion, 2024-1, we've already completed, closed out, and that was chip and seal. That's for 84 miles. Okay. There was some money left over we wanted to try to use because we got awarded that amount. So we went after 2024-2, which is going to be HMA overlay. Most of that is going to be done in small towns. Bernie, I don't even know all the top of my head, Sardinia. But it's kind of hitting all around the county for some of the small towns. And I felt like the impact of that would be big because there's a lot of people living in those little towns. Yeah. So,
And several of the roads you guys are responsible for.
correct.
Well, if I remember correctly, all this money became available. Community, what do they call it? Grant.
Yeah.
Because we passed wheel tax 10 years ago. So the investment then seems to be paying off a lot.
Yeah.
Certain year.
I think Mark, in all his time, so this came out in 2016. And for every year, Mark got awarded until I took over and I got awarded every time. I really feel that if you're involved in a project and you're working with NDOT highway, okay, you show concern, you got all those things required, that they like to be able to award that to somebody that's going to see the project through. So far I've got everything so far. Just submitted our road asset management plan and bridge asset management in LTAP last week, where we can apply for 2025. I think we're leaning toward going for chip and seal again. If we get another 80 or 90 miles of roads sealed up and put some wear service on them, I think it'll help extend the life of those for about 6%.
All that overlay was last,
The overlay we did,
like Base Road.
yes,
West
that
side.
was from 2023-4.
Is there a reason none of these have the amount requested? That's kind of what I was.
I don't have all that information. At this point.
Now, the one's got 80/20 on it. You've got the
The
20%.
bridges are federal, 80/20. CCMG is 75/20.
That was, we had to come up with like, took a lot of heat for that, but I think I already said it.
Good. Yeah, suggestion for that is how you just fill out what you need to so we get the process started. So I'll be writing things in or adding to that as it goes along. So
Everybody understand that? Approval for, is it for the State Board of Accounts? Yes,
All grants going forward.
pardon?
All grants going forward.
All grants going forward?
it's more work that's happening on the department, it's going out to grant. But I do what they need to help maintain the road.
Take a look.
Yeah, time you get right.
I'll get them cheaper. How long do you reckon the community crossing grant's gonna stick around? It's already about 2 or 3 years old, isn't it?
Well, I think, yes, honestly, I think, can ask questions in regards to that, if they were gonna do $1.5 million in this next year. Have to be, been clarified, but I think it'll continue. Okay? 'Cause I think they're wanting to help the counties out with the infrastructure.
Is our wheel tax keeping up?
Last
No, it was-
last time I seen it was $333,000. $33, 33 cents or something like that. Last time I seen it. They're giving you $3 for one now.
That's information I can't give you.
It used to be 2 for 1.
Yeah.
Now, it must be close to 3 to 1 now. Get $1,400,000.
I think they just upped this last time to see what it would do.
They upped the maximum
Get
to
more.
1.5.
But
We have to 25, so we put up 25% and the state provides 75.
So it's 3 for 1. 3.
Yeah.
Greensburg, I believe.
Very beginning.
Sackler. It depends on the size of
Of
the-
the county size.
Greensburg's 50-50 of population, but the county's 3 to 1.
Which prices, everything went up, it needs to be. Everything's 3 times as high.
Yeah.
You get near miles.
Okay. Need to entertain a motion to approve these grant proposals.
Make that motion.
Kenny makes a motion. Ashley seconds. Any other questions for Todd? He can't answer. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we'll send them back down in a minute.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Okay. We'll go on to transfers.
Yeah.
Oh, Abby,
Sorry.
I'm sorry, Abby. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. I'm here for the same thing. Last year we applied for a Community Action Coalition grant. Jeremiah applied for it and we got it. And this year we're doing the same thing. So luckily Abby sent that email, perfect timing, due on the 2nd. So in this grant, we are asking for funds to increase our drug screening abilities, and then that allows us to refer out to treatment. We're asking for incentives for our participants that complete programming, achieve big life milestones, things like that, or simply people that come out of jail and haven't eaten lunch and they come sit in our office for 2 hours. We can give them a bag of chips and a bottle of water. The grant also encompasses field equipment. Last year, we were able to get some of our staff new bulletproof vests. We need to get some the other staff, the remaining staff, upgraded bulletproof vests. I think we were able to get new equipment, replace clothes that were damaged or things like that on the field. So that's kind of what this grant encompasses for us.
It strictly wasn't juvenile, it was,
Correct, it was for court services. That your Mike took it upon himself, which is fabulous.
How much is it?
We're requesting.
15,000. Got my approval.
Free money.
Okay.
Free money.
Here,
Here's the,
no, there ain't no such thing.
Well. you guys approve it. You guys can sign that and give it to Abby, I think, so. I can get that applied for you. I'm sorry, no.
Entertain a motion to approve this grant. For the Bill makes a motion, Deanna seconds. The other discussion, she can probably answer questions. All those in favor? Any opposed?
my wife didn't wear full vest.
No, if that happens, we're in trouble. Abby
Yeah.
has to do that, so. All right, thank you, guys.
Good comment. Okay, we're still waiting on the enterprise, so we'll move on to transfers. Okay.
Sheriff.
No, he's enterprise, not
Oh,
heavy.
sorry.
I do have one request.
Go ahead, sir. Right over there. Sorry.
Thank you. So on my sheriff's budget, my overtime has been able to please, we got 6 weeks to go. With that being said, the detention budget, got $17,000 up there in that overtime budget, whatever that's called safety money. I'm gonna get your approval to use that money to pay overtime on the sheriff's.
And have to be advertised, Jan? Pardon? Yeah, coming from public safety to,
We'll just pay it out.
oh, just pay that, okay.
You need all of that, or I shouldn't need all of it. Again, we're not gonna move anybody, we'll just pay it out of that line item. Every meeting, though.
Did I get that? Any questions about it? Entertain a motion to approve. I make a motion to approve. Any seconds? Any other questions? Concerns? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Good, thank you. Oh, thank you, Sheriff. Okay, transfer. Do I have time to look at them? I have some questions. On transferring your pool money. Kind of bothers me you're burning your cash.
In order to put the funds over to be spent for the turf project, the part of the Parks Department is going to be contributing that. I spoke to Janet, and we had to make the transfer to a different appropriation because we don't have pool in 2025. So that's why I was asking to transfer it all to contract services so that I could spend that money toward that project, help pay the portion that I have to pay. And I realize it's gonna lower my tax.
Yeah.
Well, what we lowered you last meeting, we took 42,000 out of your account. This, for this year, so next year's budget would pass. This just worries me that next year, after next year, you're gonna be down to whatever your recommendations are. Does that make sense?
Oh, I understand.
You know where I'm coming from, so everybody see where I'm coming from, I just,
Where are you at on the project?
So as far as funding, the, they get the turf installed, the funding should be there with where we had transferred over, wherever we in the ARPA reallocation. And
Well, my question is, if we don't transfer that money or leave it into cash, are you funded on your project?
no, I would have to go find additional funding before it's complete.
So you're $60,000 short? And that's what you're looking at, $60,000.
Well, I mean, that's just the things that had to come before the. Already. I mean, this would just be transferring my appropriations to a different appropriation.
Right.
I mean, yes, it would ultimately result in spending it, which we
Yeah.
had done for the pool. But I figured if that was in my 2024 budget, that it was still there.
If you take it all out of there, if you look at what next year, kind of overseeing what next year is looking at as far as we have cash.
Well, I'm not going to be out of cash, but obviously my cash is going to be,
Right,
considered, which I explained to the park board that situation and how that would work and how we had worked to build the cash up to make it, a much better place than we were a while before. But that's the only way that I know how to make up some of the difference that was agreed upon through the process for the turf to be done. Is to move that. I mean, going into it, I told him that would be the only money in my budget that I really could show that they could use for using it for the.
Didn't really hear what you said, Rob, as far as your funding on your project. Where are you at on that? If you have enough money to do the project, or how short are you?
Oh, we had enough money to do the project, as long as, as long as we have that money moved over and we have our other partners in that, or do what they're gonna do, right? I mean, the board is working on making sure that happens, but as far as I know, that would mean it's 100% funded if everything is lined up.
Well, if you're only looking at, for this part, it's like $60,000. So if we don't let her take it out of cash, we want her to hold on to it, you're gonna be $60,000 short on your project. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, you have to wait, to find that 60,000 someplace else?
I will know tomorrow.
Okay. That's why I'm asking, because I would rather, if you're able to do that, you can hold on to the cash for now, and you can always do it in January.
Well, this was a transfer that was needed so we could encumber the money in 2025 to pay the bills that needed to be paid. If I don't encumber, as Dan and I talked, if I don't transfer it this way from the pool to something else, there's no pool in my 2025 budget, right? So that I couldn't encumber it into, like, I can't roll it over to pool maintenance because there is no pool maintenance in 2025. We took that out of the budget.
We have to have an invoice for this amount this year,
Right, which we knew that.
that you want to carry forward, but right now you've only got $390,000 in your cash, in your budget.
Right.
Get you through and this fall settlement. It won't be
Smaller, as I
It'll be the
explained
smaller
to the
amount,
board,
so
that it's the smaller.
that's gonna be touch and go to get you to June of 25.
I just don't want to go through what we went through 5 or 6 years ago. So I'm not, understand what I'm
Well, I
saying?
guess I thought that with the ARPA discussion, different things in the funding, I thought this was kind of already expected. I mean, I had said before that I had told him that the money that I could from the Parks Department would be the leftover pool that wasn't spent. So that was what I told him that I could really commit from the Parks Department, nothing more beyond that, but.
This stays at department's cash, no, nothing.
Right.
And it can be used.
It would only be used for this project. Because I have to have a bill, I have to have an agreement invoice, something with him in order to be able to encumber it in the first place. That I needed to move it out of pool into something else so that I could encumber it going into 20.
We do have funds that we have to spend by the end of the year. We have to bump up what we already appropriated.
So I understand. So if we don't transfer these different accounts, again, that money just doesn't encumber, am I correct?
She doesn't have the ability to.
I suppose I would have to approach you for an additional at that point if I don't encumber it. It would be on my cash sheet. It could be done as an additional, but I guess I thought you would prefer to do it as a transfer than to wait for it.
Because an additional general versus.
No, mine would come out of our.
She has her own cash basis. She's looking to spend her own. Again, the cash would be there to get you.
Yeah.
Into next year.
I've explained that to the park board that,
I would,
you know,
myself, I'd like to see how you're spending. Does that make sense?
You like to see how they're spending it,
Pardon?
how it's being, say that again.
How it's being spent. I mean, if she's going to use it.
It's been on the curve on the ball.
Well,
Needs to be done so that we can
That's on.
This is a pretty small investment for the project.
Well, we understand that, but we don't want to be out of cash, that's the whole thing. There's, a way to get around where we can, we're looking at $60-some thousand. I added up these.
For those transfers. There were some that were in series, but
So-
it was more like 81,000 altogether.
So if you don't transfer it and you don't encumber it, means you're gonna lose it.
It's gonna stay in my cash fund, it's just, I'm not gonna have the appropriation.
Okay. but
It's not gonna be
you don't have
appropriated.
it stays in its cash. Okay, now I'm tracking, okay. So if we let you just leave that in your cash,
Then it would
and then
require,
ARPA
addition-
could fund,
well, yes, for
ARPA could fund whatever you were gonna put into that. So we don't lose the cash. It's right up where.
right, if that was an option, otherwise I would have to.
Just like Danny, I don't really want to see you lose your cash because there's so much going on at the park right now that I don't.
Which was,
We need
you know,
something.
what we've been doing is building up. the cash. Got it back into a healthy state, so.
What about your parks, yeah,
Gifts and grants,
gifts and grants of the 81,000 in there, is that?
except that it's earmarked for different stuff. I mean, it was given for specific things that have to, right. Well, basically, yeah, some of it, a little bit of it's not, it could be, it would be significant. Talk about the amounts of it. I do have some in there that, yes, it is.
Just as a.
Yes.
So if we take that off the transfer and we put 85,000 of ARPA money into the vault surf project, is the vault for you?
I'm not 100% sure what your total funding that you raised.
Well, that's what you were talking about,
Well, for these transfers, yes.
to cover these
Yeah.
transfers, leave your cash in there. But us cover whatever you're gonna give Rob. And maybe $80-some thousand, we'll just call it 85, and I think that would be the way to go.
That was
So,
I mean, they were, the park, well, I should say, the president of the park board had wanted me to see how much I could find unexpended in the budget to transfer over. And it's actually closer. I mean, what he was wanting me to look at was even more than 85,000. This was just me starting the transfer process to get the pool money over. But I mean,
We're estimating around 175.
you know,
From-
of the money
Parks
that would
Department.
not be spent because of salaries that I didn't pay out because I didn't hire until mid-year, so there was money there. But if you're not thinking about approving those transfers, then that money that I thought we might use may not be there for this project.
well, but if we replace it with funding, it's the same.
Yeah, I see what you're
Same
saying, yes,
cash,
whatever
and
amount.
We
I
spend our ARPA.
didn't know there were more possible.
Yeah.
funds.
So that would be my recommendation. Deanna, tell me if you think I'm wrong.
Yeah, I can tell you, working in Shelbyville, being close to Blue River Park, it brings in a lot of outside money. Shelby County. Having those attorneys every day.
So do you make a motion to pull those transfers off of there, or how do we do that?
Make a motion for the transfers, except the Parks Department, correct?
Well, we have to talk about the rest of it. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, well, go ahead. The rest of it, I think's health insurance, most of it. Health and animal control.
Did have a question on the Superior Court, their equipment. I thought that stuff was supposed to come out of QCAP. It's for the computer. And webcam. Is that a QCAP item?
Okay, then.
I would think it would be. Would it be? Superior Court, desktop computer and webcam for court. Judge Bailey, have we been taking some of that out of COOP-CAP?
Yeah, but they didn't ask for that amount, beginning of the year. take it out of Ken Capital and we, already.
So he's paying for it out of his office, correct?
Correct. He already bought something else. Off the top of my head from Ken Cap.
Okay. Well, you must have the funding in there. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the transfers minus the Parks Department's transfer.
I'll make that motion.
Attorney makes a motion.
Do we have to specify there is a Parks for Health Insurance?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, everything, yeah,
Keep with it.
everything but health, truck insurance. Attorney made a motion, Melanie second. Any other discussion? Call. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Good. Okay, we have the enterprise gentleman here. Want to listen to him, the sheriff?
Just get a little preface here. We've been meeting with Enterprise for 4 months. This is Dave Shop from Enterprise, 3 of you involved, 1 of the commissioners involved. So we've been working through some issues of leasing vehicles. Basically 5 vehicles a year, up to 4 years. They sent us to give a contract, Chad Smith, commission's turning it through it. He had heartburn on a couple of issues. We worked through those. So we think we have a pretty good contract. First meeting this month, commissioners approved the contract with Enterprise. So I asked Dave to be here today, just to give you a brief view of what this program is. We believe if numbers stay true, we're going to save about $125,000 over 4 years. So I think it's a very viable program. So all that data kind of explains it, nuts and bolts of it.
Just for a little background, we've been doing this sort of for a while. We've got about 40 other counties and cities that work with us currently. The biggest value add, I would say, for the police force is just a different way to fund these vehicles. Eric Blodgett, he's done a fantastic job of buying into the idea of cycling vehicles. He's worked out his own program to kind of get it. Right now, they're at about a 6-year cycle, buying a vehicle, holding it for 6 years, getting out of it. So they know even after that 6 years, there's still some life use to that vehicle. But they know, hey, it's probably safer to get a newer vehicle in here. So we put forth together, again, going back to what Sheriff Hill said, it's just a 4-year plan, cycling out 5 vehicles every year. So what we've done is instead of having the county pay cash for these vehicles every year, you can pay $50,000 down on the vehicle and getting out of it at 6 years. If we can put forth a plan that shows, hey, it's more cost effective to get out of the vehicle at 4 years, go ahead and flip them, take that equity in the vehicle and roll it over to another, why not go ahead and do that? So we put forth, again, they're lease terms, but we look at it as a market value finance. So taking this vehicle, instead of paying cash for it up front, knowing you're going to get out of it, let's go ahead and just pay for that portion of the vehicle that we're going to use. So if we know we're only going to be in it for about 4 years, let's take a $50,000 Durango, write it down to $10,000. So now over the course of 4 years, instead of paying $50,000 for it, you're really going to pay about $40,000 for it. So it frees up cash flow for you. And at the end, again, there is an unpaid residual balance on these vehicles. But with the enterprise remarketing department, we've been able to see selling county and city vehicles for about 30% more than what you're typically seeing on that resale. So you can take that, pay off the residual, and you're still getting about $10,000 to $15,000 in equity that you can either put back into the county or go ahead and take that equity, roll it over into the next vehicle, continuing to lower your monthly. So the whole idea here is, again, just paying for the portion of the vehicle you're going to use, continue to get your police department newer and safer. And then obviously your dollar is going to go a little bit further when you're purchasing these vehicles, and then it's also going to help your operational costs come down as well. You're going to get better fuel miles per gallon. These vehicles aren't going to be in shops as well, so your maintenance costs come down as well. So it's really just putting forth a proactive plan for your police department to go ahead and get newer and safer vehicles, and at the same time save the county.
Is there a mileage limit on these vehicles?
There's no mileage penalty for nowhere.
Insurance, who carries the insurance on
That
these
stays
vehicles?
the same. Just how you guys typically handle it now, those stays.
So the county be responsible for the insurance.
Sure.
Same as we're paying now. Insurance and pay.
One of the big advantages was you taking the 5-year vehicle and selling it versus us trying to sell for something that's.
Right. And again, going back to
You
what I
can get
said,
a lot more.
you're gonna get about 20 to 30% more. If you sell the vehicle.
What I like, it's gets the newer, safer vehicle. Instead of having maintenance.
So you do all the maintenance on.
We can handle the maintenance as well. On police force, it's a little different just because, I mean, they're driving pretty harsh. So we can take a look at that. But again, we've looked at this and maybe bring on the county here. We can absolutely.
Wear and tear on the tires and everything.
What about market fluctuation in value? I mean, there's a lot of market fluctuation in automobiles.
Absolutely.
How often do you review that, or how does that work?
Every year. So if you guys did come on board, you get a client strategy manager that would sit down with you. You got about 4 core meetings a year. We come out, sit down with you in person, and again, identify things like that. So say we start these vehicles again on 48-month, 4-year terms, something like COVID happens again, where used vehicle prices shoot up. We're going to say, hey, I know this is on a 4-year term, but let's go ahead and look at this again. Maybe get out of it now because you're going to get a lot more for it now. So back in COVID, we would have counties on about 12-year cycles. And obviously with your government incentives, you get a pretty good buy on those vehicles. We were able to sell them for more than what you bought them for. So you can run a vehicle for a year and maybe get a couple $1,000s extra on the back. So that's something we always look at every year.
What was our savings? Sheriff's.
As far as spend, you guys were saving, if you do the swap install on some of your outfit, about $378,000 over 4 years. If it's a full install, you do all new aftermarket, you're at about $450,000.
Yeah, that you said that changes because vehicles change, you can't swap them.
So this is just an idea, just a model we'll put forth, but these numbers, they ring pretty true. And again, obviously, you know, if we take inflation into account, the vehicle's going to be more expensive next year, or resale also follows that, so it evens out pretty effective.
So what kind of vehicles we looking at?
So the first year, 3 Durangos, 2 Explorers. And then after that, you got some Tahoes sprinkled in there. And then 1 Silverado on the 4th year. But mainly it's going to be your Durangos.
One of the good things about this, that I thought was that account manager keeps track of all of our vehicles, how many miles they have on them. They also analyze the market as far as, you know, if the Durango's having a technical issue, or, you know, they've been service calls and whatever, they keep track of all that. So Eric doesn't have to do any of that. If, you know, if there's an issue with them, they're going to suggest we don't buy any more of those next year because they've got this type of issue going on, we're going to go to something else. So there's a whole lot of advantage to having that account manager that's overlooking our fleet. That takes that away from Eric, but he doesn't have to do that anymore.
Yes.
Right.
Everyone say yes.
I like it.
That's a good plan.
People,
I have something, Danny. I know on the application it has where you guys would obtain like our banking and routing number, which we have through our bank, an ACH form. And being the treasurer, I'm responsible for that bank. So it's the same thing. It's just flipping it where we would pay like we would utilities prior. So they could still get their money, but that way we control the ACH going out versus them going in and getting what they need out of the bank. So that's the only thing that I see that I would rather see change.
And we can, if it's labeled in the contract, I think that was a credit app that we didn't sign last time. If you guys prefer to pay by ACH versus direct debit, we can add language in there.
Yes.
To accommodate.
Okay. Great.
Anybody have any questions? I just hope the program works out. I just wanted to.
Yeah,
I just want to keep you guys in safer. I just want to keep you in safer vehicles. Really do. And
Save money.
save some money along the way. Anybody else have any questions?
Nothing we have to do with it.
Nope, don't think we have to prove anything. You just giving us a presentation. What's going on? Thank you, Eddie. Okay, we got transfers. Additional. Got solid waste. Kenny, you want to? You want to kind of explain the solid waste additional?
So.
Just going in order. we go.
We had contract with Rumpke on our curbside recycling, and it went up almost $200,000 a year, which we knew that was gonna happen. We signed a contract this year. We didn't have the money budget for this year. Well, that's what they said. It brings our budget up to where it needs to be. We have the cash to pay it. We just have to have appropriation to get it transferred into the accounts. Get that to balance the budget at the end. It's budgeted for next year, so next year will be go. But the issue we had was we were with Best Way. Contract came up for renewal. So we put it out for bid. Best Way bid on it. Rumpke bid on it. Best Way's bid was missing several things out of the bid specification, so we had to disregard their bid. Rumpke got rewarded that. It was a 3-year increase. For every year it's going to go up. One good thing about it is this next year is the last year for the contract, but it costs $700-some thousand a year to curbside recycling in the city.
It's just the city. What's the county?
We don't have any in the county. It's just
Nowhere to go. I mean, what's the county? County has to pay this,
well, it's all they have their own tax rate.
so it comes, yeah.
Yeah,
City pays too.
they have their own tax base, but county people can go out to the best way. There's, we had that mobile site down here. We had to take it out because people kept setting it on fire.
Right.
But it's out best way now. They can go out there. We pay for that one out there. So gives the county, plus we have mobile sites around the county that we can, so we pay for that. It's expensive.
Yeah.
Everybody get an explanation? Okay. I'll entertain a motion to approve this additional solid waste.
I so moved.
Bill makes the motion. Ashley seconds. Any other questions, concerns? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, here's a real dandy. $42,055. State Board of Accounts for our last audit. Am I correct? But they know how to steal off of us. don't
For 2 years.
they? Pardon?
It's for 2 years.
2 years? Okay. Everybody get a copy of that and see it? I don't think we got much choice. I can send it back tomorrow. Everybody get the explanation on that? I'll entertain a motion to approve. Dan makes a motion. Ashley seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. ARPA for courthouse HVAC on the roof, $57,215. Update HVAC in courthouse, replace roof on the original courthouse. That's good. Everybody see that one? Any questions?
I got a question.
Go ahead.
What do we do about hot water in the courthouse? Is that all the boiler downstairs? Would be ahead, just put a little electric hot water heaters in each restroom and do away with that big boiler thing. I mean, the more hot water we use.
It has to do with the heat also in the new part. that same boiler.
It seemed like a few years back, we spent a lot of money on that.
There's hot water radiators.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's to do with the heaters too, not just hot water.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion for $215 for the air conditioning and the roof on the courthouse.
Good motion.
Bill makes a motion. Ashley seconds. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, ARPA funds for the Sheriff's Department Crisis Intervention Team. You train sheriff's personnel for Teams Crisis Intervention using American Rescue Recovery Plan monies.
Motion to approve.
Pardon? Ashley makes a motion to approve. Deanna seconds. And, pardon?
What was that number?
Much?
25,000. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, additionals for the fairground. Two of them on there I'm questioning. The last four, I understand, because those budgets, you never really know after the fairgrounds what's going to happen, what's going to turn in, but the solar eclipse budget, I thought that was taken care of.
Yeah, I was under the impression that when the Power of the Past got $7,000,
7,800 and some odd dollars.
I thought, and I never was approached being on the fair committee to even help with that deal. And all of a sudden, the Power of the Past gets $7,800, and then we're paying this. I don't know. I just don't agree with that.
Well, according to Ledger, expenditures were $16,601, and the receipts came in with $13,564, which left it. I don't understand where we got $5,700 in the hole on the solar eclipse, and that only comes up a little over $3,000.
But I understood that they were supposed to get what was left over, get part of that. Sounds like we guaranteed them.
That's what we were told.
Yeah.
A financial report on the solar eclipse funding and.
Right here.
That's.
You got them. You should have.
Yeah,
There's one there on what it brought in, what was spent.
I guess my question is, how did we end up $7,844.91?
Which what?
How did we end up at $78.44.91?
And I think that's the total fairgrounds, what's left over.
No, that was what, I don't, I was not at the meeting. So I had the minutes from the commissioners meeting. Where they, Tony gave me an update and he did a quick math. So that's we came up with the 78.44.91 to get to the proper path.
Yeah, how'd they come up with that?
I'll pass this down because I don't.
And was there some kind of agreement with the solar deal and the Power of Fast paying X amount of dollars for X amount of things?
I don't know the agreement. I know there was something because they did kind of organize it or they were on site most of the activities.
You know, the presentation given at the fair committee was that they were going to help, they helped do everything and they were gonna get the difference of what, once everything was paid, they would get what was left.
It seems odd, it's
Yeah, that's fine. I don't know how we, that's the fair committee, we got jumped right over. We didn't even get a chance to help. We could have kept it right in our own pocket.
Bad thing about it, there's a bunch of us in this room that helped with that fair and got it self-sufficient besides the money that's put in the commissioner's budget for improvements. And now we're spending another $5,760 out of there that's, to me, is not right.
That's already been paid.
Yeah, $7,844. I could approve the trend or the additionals on the last four fairgrounds, because I know what them are. I know that there's times that we don't put enough money in the line item budget. And just like me and Bill had to have a tire and a wheel and everything else fixed, it came out of whatever it was that might went over a little. And the same way with gas and oil and things like that. But solar eclipse, I don't want more explanation. That's me. I don't know about the rest of you.
So has all the bills for the solar eclipse been paid? Everything paid?
According to everything but this, let's just get it out of the red. Those,
Correct, gets the appropriations out of the red. Cash in that line. That was.
I'd like to have more explanation on professional services or
Yeah,
things
exactly.
like that for the solar eclipse.
Well, I'd like to know why it's 78.44.91. This doesn't make any sense to me that
This is
charging for your
what it
vitamins,
should be right here.
that if it comes to an audit,
It's
it's not done.
independence.
And they were just promised that they would get whatever was left.
Okay.
They were from-
If there wasn't any money left.
No,
Yeah.
they were, I
Paying
mean,
that.
the fair committee or fairgrounds is paying for something I don't think we should be paying.
Oh, it's independence here.
Because we appropriated $15,000 as seed. We were told that would be brought back to us and we would have nothing invested. I'm not putting you on the spot, Mark, but are we not correct?
You're correct.
Yeah, I'm
Get any of that back.
In the minutes, we would,
Be shown in there.
the remainder would go to.
According to the ledger report,
So it's in the minutes, right? If that's what it pertains to.
But that was.
Yeah, or how they. Nothing. Right there.
And was it the liability insurance bill that came in after?
It came in.
That's what it was, it's part of the liability insurance. Invoice came after the tax money was paid out, but
It's
not,
only
but it's not. That's-
Even then, we think that that would be accounted for. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
can we approve all the rest of them with those two?
Yes, we just need to mark.
Mark them out,
No, just.
mark them what?
And initial.
Do what now?
Mark no on the ones, initial them.
Well, I mean, that's my opinion. There's 7 of us.
Oh, there's professional services. What's that?
I don't know. I'm not. So I have some more explanation.
I agree.
Everybody else? Then entertain a motion to pay them all, but the solar eclipse,
I'll make that motion.
Bill makes a motion.
That'd be the top two you're saying.
Top two. Who seconded it? Bill.
Melanie.
Melanie second. Any other discussion on those? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Initial, make sure you put initials next to no. We'll make the whole- Okay, we have board appointments. We need to make one to the fair committee. I was asked to be on there, but I would not do it unless the council approved me being on there. If anybody else that would rather do it besides me, I have no problem. I'm willing to do it, but I'm not. I want to make sure that the council approves it. That makes sense? I'm also open if anybody's got better mousetrap than I got for that fair. I have no problem with that.
I think you do a fine job there. Yeah, you do.
Thanks, Billy.
I
know you are. You've got to get it.
I tried it.
Okay. Well, I need a motion.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Bill makes a motion. Ernie seconds it. Any discussion or cussing at me or anything? Okay. All those in favor? Any opposed? Okay, let's hope you're one. Okay, the rest of the board appointments, Bill, you want to talk to Red Dawn?
Yeah, I'll talk to her. If she will, I will do it.
You'll do it on the, I
And
don't,
if
can
it's
you?
not,
Yeah,
she's not been doing it very well.
okay. Pardon?
Is it just the city? Or other public officer?
The city's got Mark Harmon, he's city council.
Just going by what the notes say.
I know, I've seen that too, but I don't know. Cause I think it's the first time I've ever seen.
Okay, Ryan Kennelly due on the area plan. You want to talk to him, Billy?
I can,
Okay.
it's marching down.
Chris Debbie, I will make sure Chris will be our attorney. Is that okay? We did that one, Fair Committee. Property Tax Assessment Board Appeals, Jennifer Johnson. Assessor's not here, is she? I'll see if she'll check and see if she'll do it again. Kenny Hooten, Waste Management, you okay with that? Yeah. Okay. Tourism Board. I'll talk to Zane. See if he's interested.
They've been showing up. I mean,
Is Joanne okay?
I know that, right.
Well, if you want to ask her, I talked to her grandson and she's,
They're slowing down a little bit.
yeah, slowly. I'll give Zane a call, make sure it's okay. Check with Joanne. Southeastern Indiana Regional Planning Commission. Deanna? You would like not to continue.
They meet once a month. It's required once a quarter. And they do promote it.
Do they do anything? I mean, do they? I'm just asking.
Yeah.
They were involved with some bypass.
They did go. There's some information there. Helpful. I mean, I think the value of it is, should something arise, we have our, we have our voice, right?
Okay.
That's, but I've been on it for what, 3 or 4 months. Yeah.
Well,
is Jeremy showing up? Do we have a representation from the county?
Brian does on occasion. I do on occasion. I mean, I do. I probably am the most from our county that shows up. Yeah.
Anybody want it?
How big a region is the regional areas and accomplish
Trying to think of the counties.
surrounding?
I know that Ripley's in it. I think
Shelby,
Shelby's in it. Yeah, Shelby's in it.
Clemens, Jefferson,
Yeah.
Ohio.
Southeast.
Yeah, except for Shelby.
Dearborn.
They meet over sales most.
Yes. Have lunch, free lunch.
You want to sign up, Kenny?
Yeah.
You want it, Kenny?
I got 2 big arms fire.
Who, Rick?
Yes.
Yeah, Rick.
Rick, no.
He's not here. So.
Yeah, that's how it was coming on.
There.
Must keep
We just
ready.
let that go. He's not here. Put him in there. My opinion. Yep, I am.
Yeah, if you have an updated list of numbers.
For Sarksy?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll call him after this and make sure. Okay, tip board, I've talked to Matt Miller, he's welcome to stay on, and I'll stay on if you want me to. Is that okay? Ashley,
This keeps me really busy, guys.
pardon?
It keeps me.
Okay, I'll keep you on there then. 911 board, you're on it too, did you know that?
I didn't know that.
I think we put you on there.
Well, yeah, because I just wanted to.
Yeah, tell you.
If somebody would let me know.
We got the 911 lady back here, she's make sure you get her information so you can be there, Ash, is that okay? Okay, I'll call Zane, I'll check with, the lawyer.
I'll call him. Doesn't want to be, he'll let us know. I'm sure he'll be.
Okay. Anybody else have
happy to
anything
stay.
on there this
I'll ask
week?
him.
Jennifer Johnson, will have the assessor, you know, see what she thinks. You'll check with Mr. Markart. Okay. Appreciate it. Anybody else have anything? Anything
Yeah.
constructive? Lay it on me.
Someone needs to replace me and Tony on our.
Well, Tony will probably get replaced by Brian.
Commissioner.
One commissioner and one
Here,
council person.
council person.
I'm gonna nominate Bill or Ashley.
Yeah, let's ask him once. I don't care. Really don't.
It's starting to wind down.
Yeah, it's not gonna be as intense. Monitoring.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I kind of want to discuss ARPA a little bit anyway.
Yeah.
Is there anything going to the fairgrounds for the Ready Grant 2.0?
Right, moment.
It's never requested.
We can do that if we need to request through.
We've got one more
Is
meeting.
that right, Mark? I thought there was something for Ready. Fairgrounds.
From Ready,
Yeah.
there is,
That's what I
but
thought.
not ARPA.
No, ARPA.
So where we're at right now is
One more meeting.
we got one more meeting. We have to have everything appropriated that we're gonna do to get it advertised on the first Monday of December. So we have everything done by the end of December. So right now we've got, what did it end up being, $600,000 that we gotta do.
We've got requests.
We got requests for some of that. So my guess is we're gonna be down to maybe 300,000 or 400,000 that we need to do something with.
Well, I'm making a personal request right now that some of it goes to the fairgrounds.
Meeting Monday at 9.
Be Monday, so I'll throw it on the table.
Did that go towards Rebecca Park bathrooms again, the work?
Yeah, we already have that.
That's on there.
We have that already. We had, we talked about doing the restroom at the fairgrounds, which was around $90,000. And then,
Well, I can see,
Well, I mean, that would be part of the project.
yeah, so that would roll over. If we're gonna do something at the fairgrounds, that would just roll over into that.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I would love to see $250,000.
well, we're not gonna have that. We're not gonna have that much.
250.
We
Well,
can talk about it Monday.
yeah, we'll look at it, see, we
Okay.
got our final numbers, make sure those.
Where do you meet here? Billy, you want to come with me?
Okay, Monday.
Monday, 9 o'clock?
9 o'clock down here, we'll, guess we'll be here.
Me and Bill will be there. Appreciate it.
Melanie won't be here. But Tony should.
Tony should be here, guys.
I'll be back the 25th. I'll be back the 24th. Late, but
What do you guys need for ARPA? I know it needs to be allocated by the end of the year, but like a scope of a project or quotes, like what? Like how?
That's in contract.
we have to have, so you bring it to the ARPA committee, we would vet it, bring it to the council votes on it, but it has to be advertised for appropriation. And we got Mondays, that the first Monday of December was the last time we got it, so we're on time crunch to get all the dollars spent. We're not gonna get any of it back, so we're gonna put it somewhere. And then the council will vote on it at the December meeting, and there's a contract that you have to sign with Janet on the project, and then you got 2 years to spend money.
Good. Anybody else have anything for us? Mark?
We hired a building inspector yesterday, so Tim Kramer. Not sure he's gonna start when, next day or two. Waiting on some paperwork to come back from his labs and physical and background check. I'm sure it'll all come back good, but can't do anything officially till he's got all that paperwork back to Patty.
How about the director?
We interviewed a very, very good candidate yesterday. We'll do some talking back and forth, and salaries request is much larger than, but he's wrote 7 comprehensive plans for 7 different counties by himself on an average of 6 to 7 months. The last one we had done was $50,000 and took 5 years. So that's a plus for him.
Yeah, solar experience.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do some up numbers.
He's in the wind territory where he's going.
Hey, Rob?
I just remind you all that I did send an email. Everybody last week, just a reminder of the groundbreaking at noon today. Don't want to attend anybody in the room. So complex. Work has started, but
I seen him out there.
official shooting. So shooting started his work out there.
Noon today.
Noon today.
You
Yep.
know, it's raining, right?
It's supposed to
Bring
stop.
your rain.
We have a canopy up. We're supposed to have a canopy up. Stand under that. But
You can play in the rain, right?
can, yeah, I've been out there. They've been working at it. They're excited about it. I also asked, Penny, Melanie, Deanna, can I ask 2 seconds after we're done? Yeah. Okay, just clarification.
Anybody else? Don? Got anything for us?
Thank you.
Okay.
Make motion returns.
I second.
Move for adjourn. Any seconds? All in favor?
Aye.
By opposed?